If you're using automation tools like N8N, Make.com or Zapier to build automations, then you need to watch this video. Google just launched Opal and it lets you build and share fully functional AI-powered apps simply describing what you want. You don't need to code, there are no heavy integrations, and it's running on all of the Google's best models like Gemini 2.5, N8N for image generation and VO3 for video. And the best part is that you get direct access to the entire Google suite of applications such as Google Docs, Sheets, Drive, YouTube, etc. Now that makes this truly powerful. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what Opal can do, how it compares to other automation platforms like N8N, Make.com. We are going to build a few real workflows live. Towards the end of the video, I'll also be creating a Google Maps scraper using Google Opal. This will let you scrape leads directly from Google Maps and copy that to a Google Sheet. So stick around if you want to watch that. So let's build. Okay, now before we begin, I want to give you a quick heads up that Opal is currently in public beta and it's only available to users in the US, and that's not really a problem because we have VPNs. If you're not sure which VPN to use, I am currently using Urban VPN. You can access it via the Chrome Web Store. Just search for Urban VPN. You can just click on add to Chrome, click on add extension, and you can see that it's added. Alright, so once you have added the extension, I would recommend that you keep it pinned for easier access. You just click on Urban VPN. You'll have to agree to the terms and conditions. Just click on agree. Then you have to make sure that you have selected the server as USA. Click on run and you should be connected to the US server. Okay, now we are all set to test out Google Opal, and we'll be using this URL, opal.withgoogle.com. You'll be taken straight to the Opal landing page, and as you can see, Opal is still in its early experimental phase, but value proposition remains loud and clear. Build, edit and share a mini AI apps using natural language. Right away, the sample workflow preview on the homepage gives off a very familiar vibe. If you used N8N or Make.com, you'll notice the visual structure looks almost identical. You have all these nodes, arrows, a clear left to right logic flow, and each of these nodes represents a step in your app, and Opal connects them visually based on the logic you describe. And if you scroll down, you can see that they also have a demo video introducing Opal. It gives you a high level walkthrough of what the tool can do, and it's worth checking out if you're curious. But for now, I'll just go ahead and log in so we can just start building. So I'll click sign in. Alright, now we have logged into Opal. You can see that you can start from a fresh workflow, or you can choose one from their gallery. They do have a lot of different workflow automations for different use cases. This one is a blog post writer. We have a fashion stylist. You can create claymation animation from your images. You have video ad creator. You have social media post generators and all that. So you can test any of these out. What you can do is you can just click on remix and you can just create your own versions of the workflow. Let's test a sample workflow out, and we will use the blog post writer template. Once you click on that, it will open the workflow. As you can see here, you can see that it's not currently editable. You'll have to remix it to make changes. So you just click on remix. Alright, now we can remix the workflow and tweak it as we please. I'll just quickly walk you through the canvas. You have certain nodes in yellow, you have certain nodes in blue, and you have certain nodes in green. The ones in yellow are the user input nodes, the ones in blue are the generate nodes, and the ones in green are the output nodes. And you also get the option to add assets. These are the different Google tools that you can add to your canvas. So we'll add a generate node to test what all functionalities it has. You click on generate, it gets added automatically to your canvas. Click generate node and you can see on the right pane, it opened up the generate node. And you can type in your prompt here. This is basically a prompt node where you can type in your prompt, and you can also select from a list of all Google LLMs. You have the 2.5 Flash, 2.5 Pro, you have N8N for image generation, you have Audio LM for audio use cases, and you have VO3 for video. So you can just type in your prompt, choose your LLM, and you're ready to go. So you can see that this is a blog post generator. It gets the topic for the blog post from the user and it generates an outline. It also does research based on the topic. You can see that it has embedded the Google search functionality, the get website functionality for fetching all the websites. It then writes the blog post for you, and this node takes care of that. And you can also create a banner image based on the post type. And finally, you get to display the blog post. There are different options for outputting this. I will show you all of them. For now, we can just quickly run this and see this in action. To run this, all you have to do is to click on start. It runs. As you can see, there's a progress bar showing you the progress, and it's asking me to input the topic for the blog post. Let me give a random topic here. Let's say AI automation. It's starting with its research. If you want to see each of the steps being executed, you just click on console, and you can see that the input node is already executed and the output is AI automation, the input that we entered. It's doing research right now, so the research node runs for some time. It gathers all the necessary links, it researches the topic. You can see all of the individual LLM calls being made inside the research node. It's calling Gemini 2.5 Flash multiple times. It's searching the web, and if you want to see the exact output, you can just open the JSON and you can see that it has all these data from the research. You can also see that in the canvas the write post node is highlighted, so it's currently writing the post, and you can just click on preview, and it's currently in its last phase where it will display the blog post. And here we go. It has written a complete blog post. It has done all the research by itself, and you can see it has come up with sections, and the post is pretty comprehensive, and it's all separated as sections, subsections, and the blog post is very detailed, and we do have a conclusion here. And it has also created a banner image based on the blog post. You can click on the app button here, and it shows the entire app, and you can see the entire blog post here. The blog post isn't perfect, and you can certainly tweak this to add more nuance and personality to it. You can attach your style guide. For instance, I'll click on add asset, and you can see that you get the option to choose files from your drive. You can add your style guide to a Google Doc and upload it to your drive. Maybe you can just add that to this workflow, and you can also add a generate node and prompt it to follow the style guide while writing the article. You can just play around and come up with extremely useful workflows for this. If you're a business owner trying to automate your blog content, this might be a good place to start. Comparing to N8N, I would say this isn't that technical. You don't need a lot of coding involved. N8N does offer you a lot of low code options for customization, but it's just basically plug and play. If you want to automate basic use cases for your business, this might come in very handy. Maybe let's try to create a more practical scenario. I was thinking maybe we can create a workflow for scraping Google Maps. So we'll just try that out real quick. So to create a Google Map web scraper, let's start fresh and create a new workflow. So to create a new workflow, you can just click on create new. So this is how the canvas looks like when we are trying to create a brand new workflow. So what I'm trying to create here is a Google Map scraper. For example, we can use a map scraper to scrape real estate leads. So we would need a couple of nodes. We will start with a user input node. You just click on user input, and the node gets added, and we would need to fetch the user input here. So we'll ask the user to enter your city. So once we have that, you'll have to specify what type of input we'll be expecting. So we'll be expecting a text input, and once you have that, you'll have to pass it on to a generate node. So you just drag and drop an arrow from here, and you choose a generate node. So you can see that this node gets renamed to get city automatically. From there, the city name is fetched, and we pass it to the generate node. The generate node, you will have the option to choose LLM of your choice. Let's go for the best one. We'll choose 2.5 Pro. We will have to search Google Maps for this specific city input that we have passed. So to search Google Maps, you can add the search Google Maps tool here. All you have to do is just press @ and you get the option to add whatever tool you want. So we'll be adding the search maps tool here. Press enter. So you can see that the search maps tool is added here. So we will ask the LLM to search map for real estate agents in the get city variable, right? So once we are done with that, we would need to add one more generate node. So we'll just drag and drop from here, And this generate node, we will rename it here fetch data. So this specific node would search the Google Maps for real estate agents in the city that we have specified in the user input. And once you have the search results, we'll have to fetch it in this node. So I just renamed this node to fetch data, and it can also use Gemini 2.5 Pro. And we'll add a prompt here from the search maps result, get all the name of the businesses and their contact details and make it a table. So what we have done here is essentially get all the output data from the search maps result and create a table with it. So the three crucial steps are done. We received the user input, we searched for it on the Google Maps, we have fetched all the data and neatly organized that into a table. So the next step would be to display the result. So what you have to do is drag one more node from here, an output node. So you'll have to select an output node here. So you can see the output node here in green, and for this output node you do have the option to store or display your output in different formats. You have a manual layout and you have a web page layout. Like in the blog post example that we saw, you can display it as a web page. You can also save it to Google Docs, you can save it to Google Slides, Google Sheets. So we'll be using Google Sheets here, as this would be lead data, and click on save to Google Sheets, and you can see that it's getting its data from the fetch data node from this node. You can also go to advanced settings and name your Google Sheet. I'm gonna name it agent data. Okay, once we are done that, we can modify the prompt here, like copy the fetch data to our Google Sheet, and that should be it. The system should work fine. Let's test it out and see. Alright, now we are at the agent data Google Sheet, and we can see that it has successfully scraped from Google Maps the list of real estate agents in Chicago, and we have their business name, their website and phone number already here. And the best part is that you didn't have to use any Google API to establish a connection with Google Sheets or Google Drive. So that was a quick look at what Google Opal can do. Is it going to truly replace N8N or Make? I don't think so, not at least for now. But if you're building AI first workflows, prototypes or internal projects, and you want something faster, lighter and more intuitive, and maybe tightly integrated with the Google ecosystem, then Opal is surprisingly powerful. And the fact that you can go from idea to a usable, shareable app in minutes, and that too without touching code, is honestly a lifesaver, especially if you're a creator, solo founder, or run an internal team who just wants to build and ship. And yes, it's still early, but this is the real deal. And if you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you would be building with Opal. And I'd be making more such AI and automation tutorials. So I'll see you on the next one.